And then from a beginner's point of view, you do most of these things from a lapel grab or a wrist grab. And then as you intermediately get up, you do it from a little bit of a jab and then a full body weight punch. And then you build up to doing these techniques with knives and sticks and swords. So all of these techniques can be done against a person with the sword. Hopefully you won't meet anyone with a sword. But that's kind of like the level that we build up to. So we start off making it nice and easy, and then we make it progressively harder. So, and that's the secret of martial arts. The secret is the more hours you put into it, the better you become. It's that simple. Cool. So, Kotegaeshi. Dead simple. So Roger's just grabbing. Nice and simple. There. Good. So we now have a connection. So I know if I step back, he's got to come with me. If I step forward, I'm moving into his frame. So we've got this connection. So from a beginner's point of view, that's the bit there. Brilliant. This bit's all good, and these are nice distractions, but this is the bit I'm going to want you to work on. So as soon as anybody grabs me, first thing you do, palm them. Bang. Smack him in the face. And then this hand, I'm just putting over so that I know where it is. Because if I hit him really hard and he flies off, I've then got to chase him to beat him up. So if I can keep hold of his hand as I hit him, then I know that's there, yeah? So if this pivots forward, look, it's exactly the same as those crosses you were just doing. And then when I can come back, I can take this hand and push it off. There. Nice straight line. And my thumb is coming up in between his two joints there, exactly the same as you do on the warm-up. So it goes off, goes up to midnight, comes down there, and that's where I want you to stop, because I can start to feel these joints are going tight, which is perfect. It's what I want. So the grab comes on, you step forward and strike, step backwards and take it off, up to midnight, bring it down and put the other hand on. That's as far as I need you to go at the moment. So he grabs me, I push him forwards, then I push him backwards. That comes up to 12 o'clock and we get this lock position on there, so I can start to feel this tense up. Now what I'm doing is pivoting that foot all the way down so that he can sit where my foot was there. That's it, perfect. Good, and I'm keeping that lock on and I'm keeping it out, but it's that pivot all the way around is what makes him want to fall over. So if we borrow that there, so step in and strike, step back, see how he's starting to move up, and we come up to there, and let me take it down there. Good, that's it, good. And at the moment, don't need to stand on ceremony, nothing posh. Try and keep hold of his hand, but control him to the floor. But it's that movement of the leg, good job Adam, it's that movement of the leg that does it. So without it, you're going, why isn't he falling over? And he's going, I don't want to fall over. And it's not until that movement of the leg comes in that makes that person want to go. So, good. So push pull, that's it. Good, take it off that way. That's it, up and down, and then semicircle that foot. That's it, good. That's it. It clears that gap out of the way for me to fall, and it makes that momentum go. Cool, one more. Push pull. Good. Back foot, that's it, move that foot, that's better, good. Excellent, getting the idea. So push, pull, so push me, pull me. Good, take that off there, and then that front foot semicircles around. That's it, good. Excellent, that's it, Roger. And then when you come up, come on, that's it. Just grab comes on, a step forward and strike, slide down that arm there, and then rotate it. There we go, see we've got that solid arm there, you've got the elbow there. Yeah. Shoulder joint there, and then just by me leaning forward gets a bit more oomph on that, yeah? And as we say, it's just a technique. So once you're over in that position, I've got to start hitting you again, or I step inside and take you down, but at the moment I just want to get you rolling it over. Come and do it on me, Rod. Good, that's it. Yeah. So the grab comes on, first one. Step in and push, step back, up to midnight and down. That's your Kotegaeshi. Cool. Hands up in this kamae. Good. And then if Harry can stand up, he can do one on me. So I grab Harry, he does Kotegaeshi on me. Push it away, up to midnight, pivot that foot. Good. No hope. And then kamae. And then Ura-Gyaku. We do the reverse technique. So Harry grabs me. Step in, come down, straight line, kneel down. Good. And then come up and kamae. And then it's his turn. Boom. Steps in, comes down, turns it over, middle of your chest, because that's not going to work there. Put your shoulder towards me. That's better, that's it, good. T-shape there, that's going to hurt better. And then when you kneel, it's going to make me want to go. Oh, you can't do that yet. You can do it properly enough to get you down there. Oh, cool. So, just try one and then the other. All doing it from this. See, we're beginners, so we've got to do it from a beginner point of view. Step in and strike. Come back and turn it over like we were doing before. So we've got this lock on it. Then these fingers can come up to where his elbow joint is and rotate him round. There we go. Yeah, cool. And then that's it. I rotate him round, I drop that down and I circle back. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, good. Cool, grab here. Step down, Harry. Rotate it around, fingers on, rotate it down. Just drop that gap out there so that he just makes him come towards me. He comes towards me, as you can see, we've got car crash theory here. Bang, it's easy to control that way. Bang, easy to go back into that way you were just doing. Okay, want to do that one? I can do that one. See, so you start putting it together. But just do that, fold it over, bang. Bang, you've done this before? So, if I borrow a young man, he grabs me, stepping in as we were before, and striking him, and this case I'm pushing it down. And then that there becomes that there. So we see we've got that twist, you can see it nicely in his gi. So if I start to apply pressure that way, it wants to spiral this bit up and shred this. And so all we're doing, and this is what we call it a Z-lock because of this shape here. You see, it's starting to make a Z on him. And it's all done by pushing that hand down, going under the hole, whilst keeping this lock on there. And then when I come through, I want to make sure it's bent. If it's straight, it's a competition between both of us over who's got more strength. But if I bend it, I've got more strength. And yeah, and I've got his elbow here, and my elbow into that. So I would be looking to control it so that I've got my arm. When the grab comes on, stepping and striking, pushing down, comes underneath there. So you've got that nice shape there of you. And then if I twist it that way, it makes you want to go against it. And if you fight it and go that way, it splinters. And yeah, very briefly, this is what we've done tonight. Harry, come here. Harry's going to do it. No, he doesn't know. So, start off with Côte de Gauche. Bang. Bang. Good. Come on. Good. Bang. Here we go, Yaku. That's it. Good. And then straight down. Good. Excellent. Very good. Good. And now we're going to rotate the arm out. So Urigaku, and then rotate the arm. Roll it over again. Elbow backwards. Good. And then we just do a Z-lock. So push it down. Good. Under the hole. There. Good. That's it. So they're all simple, if you like, techniques. And it's Takiori. So careful of your wrist. So Takiori is the English name, for want of a better word, is the chicken wing. Everybody loves it. But we'll do it from an initial start position because you've taken someone off that way, you've turned someone over there, and so now we're just going to push them down, okay? So if I borrow Roger's arm. So the grab comes on, do exactly the same, as always, bang, hitting him. This hand comes on here and I'm pushing him down to be able to get control of this limb here, yeah? So taking his hand and folding his hand over. See how folding his hand over makes his elbow come up in the air? So I can put my hand on top of that and then I just pick these two up together. There you go, guitarist's fingers, that's why I'm using his wrists, not his fingers. Yeah. Got strong. That's all it is. But if I put my footwork into it and make it like a technique should be, doing that bit on there. So yeah, it's just everybody's slightly different, but the principles are the same. So now we're going to put in the movements behind it, which to make sure we get them technically right, because that's the bit that then turns this from 10% to 100%. Okay, so that and that we were doing before is fine. First one, I'm stepping in. I apply the lock, I step back out. So I've got my elbow now is starting to dig into his ribs. So I've got distance on him now. And then I'm moving my left foot back down whilst the lock's on. So as with lots of things, I'm clearing this leg out because I want him there. I'm clearing that space out. So the first bit is I step in, I then come central and I lock him down. And it's the steps. This is the bit that makes it more painful, which is why I wanted you guys to learn that first bit first. So we step in, let's do that. Step back to get control, and then I step down. Good. And you see how I'm letting go of this lock just to make it easier for Tony to fall over. I don't want him to accidentally dislocate himself. If it was a, thank you. If we needed to, then of course I'd keep the lock on. If it was a grading, then I'd keep it on. And if we were warmed up and everybody was playing sensibly. But at the moment, we're practicing, so I don't want to hurt him. Honest. He might not think it most of the time, but I genuinely don't want to hurt him. So there's that step in, put the lock on, step sideways, and then we get rid of that foot to put him there. Good. You see, still got hold of that, still ready to move in and do what we need to do for the next bit. Yeah? Good. Anybody want to see it quicker? Not Tony. Yeah, come in, Harry. There you go. So it's nice and simple. Yep. Good. Yeah. So you've seen the Aikido world, you haven't done it with us yet, but in the Aikido world you take someone to one side and then to the other side and then to the other side. The Jiu-Jitsu version is what we're doing, it's just smaller. So, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, just be where
I won't put you on the floor.
Yeah.
So when we come in and doing that, start off with, I'm moving Cliff slightly that way, and then when I turn myself, he goes that way, and then when I drop this leg, he then goes that way. So I'm getting him to go that way, and then that way, and then that way, and that way. And instead of it being a big over-the-top thing, it's just a little bit, just to make him go, oh shit, oh wow. And that's all we're after doing with him. So yeah, you're doing absolutely spot on. Well done. Cool, keep it up. Come. You were working a second ago. Cool. That's it, and then the other way. Good. Nice. I think it was his throat.
Elbow up. Straight on that shoulder blade.
So I'm doing that up there. It's a lot simpler to apply, but it limits what we can do. Whereas the other one, we're breaking 3 locks. We've got all these bits on. This one, we're just going for the elbow and then the shoulder comes in later on. So it helps if that person's coming in with a bit more oomph because we can just take it out the way, but we'll go through it so you guys can see it. So the first thing is we want to stop it from coming in. Grabbing it, hacking it, anything along there so that it puts that up there. This one can come in, get his eyes on the way through and then come around to fold it in a figure 4. So I've got his wrist up here. So if I take his wrist that way, we can start to damage that. We've got his elbow there. If I lift the elbow, it starts to damage that. And then we've got the shoulder joint that's starting to kick in there as well. So we can take them down exactly the same as you just did. So nice and slowly, cover, eyes, round. Simple, yeah? Brilliant, I'm impressed with the project going on. Without realising it, you were doing a thing called Gidan Uki, which is the butterfly block in karate. So you might have seen people on the posh karate demos where they're doing that. And that's all that is the 2 hands coming down. But being in Jiu-Jitsu, we want to be a bit more relaxed about it. So it's these semicircle hands that are coming down, is to knock these punches out the way. And the main idea is it gets us into our opponent. So if Tony throws a jab, I'm knocking down. If he throws a hook, and I'm knocking him down, it gives me these things so I can then move in on him. So jab cross, there. So I can get into my opponent. Jab cross, there, bang. I can hack him straight away into his throat with my arm, yeah? Nice and simple. One more. Good, and you see how he covers up to protect himself? So that he gets used to it, because we want to hurt Tony, but we don't want to knock him out completely. Cool, so we're getting into that moving. So that Gidan we can go, a jab, a cross, hack, and down. So got a hand here, got a neck here, yeah? Cool. Going to start working with chokes in a minute, but I want you to make sure you're getting your hand on the back of his neck here so that you know where it is. This is the most dangerous part of his spine because the 2 vertebrae there are tiny and you can smash them. So if punching him in the back is going to hurt him and it might snap his spine, hitting him in the back of that's going to do an awful lot more damage. So we're jabbing, we cross in, we hack and down. There, nice and simple, yeah? Do you two want to play? And then and that hit's going to make him go, ugh, so you can then grab the back of his head and pull him forwards. And you've also got this arm here. So if for any reason, look, if for some reason Adam is miles away there, I've got a thing that's attached to his neck there. So I can hit him and then pull him down. Because I've got this bit here. And sound effects, which I love. So if he happens to be really huge and he throws punches at me, adabada, adabada, bang, there, get into this back there. But I've got this here. Look, I've got my body weight too. I can make him come down. Okay? This neck now. So it doesn't matter which side it comes in. There, bang. I'm onto this. My hand can slide past him and come underneath. Now, I'm not, there we go. I'm turning his head sideways. I'm not just putting my arm underneath it and pulling him up on his windpipe, because although that will restrict him, it won't hurt him as quick as if I can get the vascular system. So I turn his head sideways, and that allows me to get into the nerves on the side of his head. And with my hand in there, I can then just gently lift my hand up, and that's all I need to do. If I do in the movies where they do that lean back, it's because I've not got the technique on. And they're trying to do using the throat to choke them out, whereas we want to use the blood because it's a lot quicker, but it's very delicate, which is why we're doing it. You're doing it with me. Yeah. So we're going down, down, cross, down. If I go in that way, there, for some reason I can't find it, I can pull my hand back into the other side, and then my thumb is getting into where it should be. My other hand, come up, take hold of my thumb.
So you're actually pushing your thumb into
Pushing my thumb into that lock there. There we go. Turning him over so you can see it. But it helps. Yeah.
It's going a bit red.
He could have worn me before he got completely red. But where I was taught to do it and how we've done it for donkey's years, to there, coming in, it actually is a little bit too close. The triangle needs to be, don't worry, please don't get it. The triangle needs to be between there and there, but it's off centre. Now what they say is going sideways. And it works a lot better. Yeah. But that's position to start with, knocking him down, taking him down, that way there. Yeah? Cool. Then this hand we can take out, striking on that, so that one comes underneath there. So we've got one underneath, one over the top. This hand is locked into his shoulder joint here to stop him moving too much. So that one can come straight underneath there. Yeah, and it cranks the neck up an awful lot more. That way works, but it's harder for me to get my hands on, and if he's putting up too much of a fight, I don't get the comfortable control that I prefer. I prefer the control of that being in there, so that I've got that push against him. I got him there, and then that can just come around and find my hands. Yeah? Cool. You okay? Yeah. Cool. One more than just for luck. Down, cross, in, down, down. There we go. See? I'm still doing all those same bits. You've got
Stepping over. Yeah. Put those straps to that. Yeah. Give it a dig. Straps up and over. This. Slowly. Into your chest. Still slowly. Yeah. Where's your point? Yeah. Slowly. So that anything is very, very simple. Very simple. Yeah. Very effective. And then push the one over. Yeah. That's part one. It's going to become a bit down there, but...
Yeah.
Goes to the line. Oh yeah, just a bit.
Scoop. Good. Scoop on there. No problem with your chest. Back to the wrist. Good into your chest.
Other foot position, mat control, this before. Ouch.
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
Tap.
That's good.
That's a bloody good one. Oh.
Yes.
I think Cliff wants to see it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mate, it's my tap fast. I was just tap. Your words like I just tap.
Nice and gently, you two. Not you two in each other. Yeah, don't have to show Cliff where it is, he's found it. Then you've got that lock already there, clicked into your leg. Yeah, neck crank be more. Yeah. The wrist is going to hurt, but the neck crank could hurt me, I think. Yeah. Nice. Go on.
Oh god, I already feel this is gonna suck.
Right.
The human pretzel. No, did you can put the wrist lock or the neck crank on there, whichever you. Yeah. Yeah. You're rolling over.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is definitely working.
Yep. Yep. That's a neck crank. Do it that lock on. Good.
That one is the worst. Oh.
Nicely done.